Hey, what's up guys? I got another battle for you here today, and I have brought a rain team. I know I use these weather teams a lot, but I just really like the weather team, so I'm going to keep using them. This time we got the rain, and we have Pelipper to set it up. And then I brought today Poliwrath. He's going to be making his debut. We have Poliwrath with Swift Swim and Belly Drum, so hopefully we can do a lot of damage with that Poliwrath. And then I brought some other Pokemon that I like using along the way too. So let's jump right in. So I usually will lead off with Pelipper, but I saw they had the Tyranitar. I'm assuming it's going to be a Sandstream Tyranitar, so instead I'm going to be sending out my Pincurchkin to start off the match. And he does end up leading with that Tyranitar, so it's good we didn't send out Pelipper. But here, he could go for a Earthquake, I'm assuming he has Earthquake, and take out my Pincurchkin in one shot probably. But I decided to go for the Toxic Spikes anyway because I'm pretty sure he's going to go for the Stealth Rocks. So now we're each going to be getting up our entry hazards off here. But after we get these hazards up, I'm probably going to be switching out my Pincurchkin just because I still think it's very useful. So after these Toxic Spikes, I'm going to be sending out my Pelipper to set up the rain. I don't have a Rapid Spinner, and I don't have Defog on this Pelipper, so on the swap, the Pelipper is going to be taking a lot of damage off the Stealth Rock. I should probably put on Defog one of these days. I don't really get the chance to go for a Roost too much with this setup I got in Pelipper. Either way, we get the rain up, which is nice. Now we can go ahead and swap other Pokemon when we need to, but my opponent is going to go for the Dragon Dance, which is kind of scary. So now I should probably swap to conserve this Pelipper so I can set up the rain again. But I don't want anything to be taking too big of a hit, so I'm just going for the Scald, hoping I have speed, but I don't. He goes for the Stone Miss, which doesn't miss, it lands, and Pelipper goes down in one shot. So there goes my rain setup Pokemon. I still have Rain Dance on Pincurchkin, it's just a little tougher to set up. But now that we got the rain, we're going to be taking advantage of it as much as we can while it is still up. So we're going to be sending out Poliwrath here. So with this Poliwrath, I actually decided to go straight for the Liquidation instead of for the Belly Drum. I wasn't sure if I'd live a hit just in case he had Thunder Punch. I didn't want to be at half health. So I just go for Liquidation. It doesn't end up killing this Tyranitar, so he's able to go for the Stone Edge, which actually wouldn't have taken me out if I would have gone for the Belly Drum because it also had Citrus Berry. So it kind of sucks it didn't go for that Belly Drum because now this Tyranitar is actually going to swap out and it's going to be able to take away my rain once it comes back in and it sets up its own sand. So that was a pretty big mistake by me, which really sucks. And now my opponent's going to be sending out the Milotic, which is a huge wall for this Poliwrath. So this Milotic is going to be the one to take the Drain Punch from the Poliwhirl. It's going to get poisoned, which is nice, but this Drain Punch is going to do 10 damage, which is not good. So I am forced to swap here, and the rain turns are slowly dwindling down, which really sucks too. So now we know the world, we're going to be swapping out here, sending out the Electivire. Hopefully this Electivire can do a little more damage. I know this is a physical defensive Milotic by the looks of that Drain Punch, but who knows? They actually go for the Recover here, which isn't too bad because, you know, it only had, I guess it had a good chunk of damage gone, but not too much. But the poison's going to be racking up anyway, so that's okay. So here, I'm just going to go for the Thunder Punch, again, to gauge how much damage this will do, what's super effective. I do have Expert Belt, so it's going to do a little extra damage, but my opponent swaps out into the Goomy, and now this Goomy's going to get poisoned. And it's going to be taking this Thunder Punch really well. So my team is struggling here to do damage. The good thing is that I think half his team is now poisoned. But here, now we're going to be swapping out just because I'm pretty sure this Goomy's going to have Earthquake. And I don't want my Electivire taking an Earthquake, so we're going to be swapping out Poliwrath. The Goomy shows... This isn't Goomy, what am I saying? What's this thing called? I forgot the name of this Pokemon. But they're going to be going for the Earthquake. And it's not going to be doing too much damage actually. What sucks is that it's going to activate my Citrus Berry. So now if I go for the Belly Drum, I'm not going to be getting the heal off the Citrus Berry. But that's okay, because we can always go for the Drain Punch. The Electric Terrain is going to go away this turn, which doesn't really matter because I don't really use it. But this is going to be the last turn of Rain. So I'm going to see if I can take advantage of it. And like I said, we're going to go for the Drain Punch here. On the... Oh, it's Goodra. That's what it's called. I just remembered. It's not Goomy. Goomy's the little one. But here comes the Drain Punch. And that's not going to do too much damage, but we get a little bit of life back, which is good. As the Goodra here actually is going to go for the Power Whip, which I didn't know it got. But he missed the Power Whip. I got so lucky there. I didn't know that these Goodras got power. I definitely would have been knocked out by that. Instead, they missed, and now I think I can still outspeed. I assume I outspeed, and can just take out this Goodra with one more Drain Punch. So we got super lucky there. You kind of hate to see it sometimes because the opponent made the smart play, but that's Pokemon for you. So we do get the Drain Punch off, and now we're almost sitting at max health, and I can go for a Belly Drum probably here soon. Only problem is there's no more rain. So my opponent's next Pokemon is going to be the Milotic, which is kind of nice because I don't need the rain to outspeed this Milotic. So I decide to go for the Belly Drum right here. So that's going to take me under half HP, but I get that max damage, the +6 in attack. As my opponent goes for the Scald, which isn't going to do anything. I guess they were hoping for the burn, and we don't get the burn. So we got lucky there twice, which is great. The Power Whip miss and the no burn. So now I can just go for the Drain Punch, get a ton of health back, and hopefully knock out this Milotic here in one shot. Unfortunately for Poliwrath, this Milotic is just too beefy, and it lives a +6 Drain Punch from a max attack Poliwrath, which is insane. So this has to be a max defensive Milotic max HP. What really sucks is they go for the Haze, so that eliminates all my stats boost. So now, I don't have my Belly Drum +6 in attack anymore. The only good news is that this Milotic is now going to die to any single hit that I throw its way. And I decided to send a Fistful of Ice Milotic's way, so big wall down, which is good. It did cost us a lot with Poliwrath. That's okay. So now my opponent's going to be sending out Lucario as their next Pokemon. So here I don't know if I can outspeed, so I'm going to elect to swap out and send up Pinchurchkin and see if I can set up the rain again. Because, you know, another Drain Punch, and Poliwrath has enough health to get another Belly Drum off. So here comes the Pinchurchkin, as actually we double swap. He swaps out his Lucario and sends out the Articuno. So with this matchup, it's actually pretty good for Pinchurchkin. I can go for the Rising Voltage, because under the electric terrain, that would do a lot of damage to the Articuno. But I decided that the rain is more important, so I go for the Rain Dance. The Articuno is going to be going for the Freeze Dry, which actually isn't going to even take me to half, which is great. This is a max special defensive Pinchurchkin. So we are able to get the rain off, and we can actually go for the Rising Voltage here, and hopefully do some really big damage on one of these Pokemon. My opponent here is going to make a really smart play. They're scared of the Rising Voltage, they're going to swap out, but they're also going to be sending out Tyranitar, which gets rid of the rain, which I worked so hard for. Pinchurchkin danced so hard for it to set up that rain. The other problem is that this Rising Voltage is not going to do as much damage to this Tyranitar as it would have done to the Articuno. But here comes the Rising Voltage, double power in the electric terrain, and it's still not going to take out the terrain. I'm pretty sure it lived on 1 HP, which is insane. The good news is that even after leftovers, the poison is going to take out the Tyranitar. The problem is the rain is gone. My opponent's next Pokemon after the Tyranitar is going to end up being Lucario, which is kind of good because usually these are special attacking Lucarios. I decided to go for the Rain Dance, hoping Pinchurchkin can live it. If he doesn't, I'm going to have to Dynamax and go for the Max Geyser to set up the rain, which kind of sucks. So here comes the Aura Sphere from the shiny Lucario, and this Pinchurchkin is going to end up living on 7 HP. What an absolute champ. Those spikes really helped him out there, I think. I think that was the difference, those spikes. He's got so many of them. We are able to get the Rain Dance up, and now he can't get rid of it because he doesn't have the Tyranitar anymore. So Pinchurchkin here coming up really clutch. Not only taking the Tyranitar with the Sandstream, but also getting all that poison up and getting the rain up. So here my opponent actually goes for the Calm Mind, which was interesting. I guess he thought I was going to swap out. That lets me go for the Rising Voltage. And with the electric terrain and the crit, that's going to take out the Lucario, which is absolutely insane. The crit definitely mattered because this Pinchurchkin has no investment in attack or special attack at all. My opponent's next Pokemon is going to be the Articuno, which I'm hoping just takes me out this turn because I'm running out of rain turns. After this turn, there's only 3 left, so I gotta take advantage of it. They go for the Freeze Dry, and it is going to be taking out the Pinchurchkin. So I still have 4 Pokemon that I can swap into, as my opponent only has 2 left. This Articuno 1 more. So I decided to send out the Kingdra because this is Swift Sim Kingdra, and I do have Flash Cannon. So here my opponent is going to end up swapping out and sending out their Frostlass, which was their second to last Pokemon that they had. So this Frostlass is going to be the one that is going to be taking the flash cannon after it gets poisoned. This flash cannon is going to do enough damage to take it down to its focus sash, and because it is poisoned from the toxic spikes that Pinchurch can set up the very first turn of the match, the focus sash doesn't really matter. The poison is going to knock out the Frost Blast at the end of this turn. So even when Pinchurchkin is knocked out and done for the match, he is still taking out people. What an absolute beast. Don't be sleeping on Pinchurchkin, figuratively and literally, because if you sleep on a Pinchurchkin, it's pretty pointless, probably uncomfortable. My opponent's last Pokemon is going to be this Articuno, which they actually haven't Dynamaxed yet, so this is going to be a Dynamax on Articuno. And Dynamax can turn a match around, so this still is pretty close. It wasn't really obvious Dynamax, but I decided not to Dynamax myself just because the rain's almost gone. And I think there's other Pokemon I could use that could probably Dynamax a little better, but here it comes, the Dynamax Articuno, and I'm going to go for the Flash Cannon. And it's going to do okay damage. I mean, it's not the best, but the worst part is that they have a weakness policy. It's a weakness policy Articuno, so now he has +2 in special attack and physical attack, and he's going to go for the Airstream. So now he's got +1 in speed and +2 in special attack. So this Articuno is like in prime position to sweep the rest of my team. So like I said, Dynamax can really turn around a match, which is the reason I kind of hate Dynamax so much. I think it's too powerful. But now the rain is gone, and my Pinchurchin is gone, Pelipper's gone, so I'm running out of options here. I decided to send out Poliwrath. I have 2 other Pokemon besides the Poliwrath, and this Articuno's got 2 more turns of Dynamax. The problem is Poliwrath is easily going to be going down to a max Airstream. What sucks is that I can no longer outspeed, so this Articuno has +2 in attack, +2 in special attack, and +2 in speed. I'm just trying to stall out this last turn of Dynamax here after this Poliwrath to see if I can take it out with something else that I got. So my next Pokemon that I decided to send out is the Electivire. I have Ice Shard on my Mamoswine, so I'm saving that for the end. I'm hoping Electivire can live a hit here. This is max HP, and I thought about Dynamaxing, but I wasn't sure if I could live any hits, so I just decided to sack off the Electivire here to waste this last turn of Dynamax. Guys, Dynamax is so strong. This thing made the 4v1, I think it was 4 Pokemon that I had, 4v1 comeback, and I'm down to my last Pokemon now. If you set up Pokemon with certain movesets, you can really make them really strong in Dynamax, but we're down to my last guy, and that's going to be Mamoswine, which I love this Pokemon. It's one of my favorite. I'm going to be Dynamaxing this Mamoswine. I'm hoping that I could live any hit. This is a max HP Mamoswine, so I'm hoping to live a hit from this Articuno. I don't think it can hit me with anything super effective, so I should be able to live at least 1 hit. And I'm going to go for the Max Steel Spike here. And hopefully this Max Steel Spike is enough to take out this Articuno in 1 shot. My opponent still outspeeds me though, and they decide to go for the Roost here, because it's a really interesting move because they have almost full health, so I guess they didn't think they could take me out in 1 shot. So they go for the Roost, get some health back, and then the Max Steel Spike is actually not going to take out this Articuno. It's going to live on like 10 HP, so that Roost actually mattered because it would have died if it wasn't for the Roost. So that's crazy interesting. I do get the +1 in defense. So it all comes down to this. Can my opponent knock me out in 1 shot? Because if he doesn't, I'm going to take them out with the Max Steel Spike. And we actually don't find out because they just decide to quit. I'm assuming they don't have anything that could hit me too hard, and they weren't going to knock me out anyway, so they just decided to concede the match there. That's going to be the end of the match, guys. And that was a really close match. It came down to the last turn right there. It really shows you how powerful Dynamax can be if you set up your Pokemon correctly. Force Dynamax specifically. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll see if I can get more battles for you and keep it interesting and keep posting constantly. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you.